Can you imagine getting punished for refusing to let your husband film the private moments of your marriage? For her refusal, my mother got an ashtray thrown in her face. There was nothing she could do about it because we were women in Iraq. When I lived in Iraq, I thought abuse was normal. I witnessed and experienced Iraqi men normalizing abuse of their wives. The women were trapped and hopeless. Trust me, fighting back wasn't an option. School wasn't an option. Choosing your own husband wasn't an option. Sometimes even leaving the house wasn't even an option. This ideology drove my mother to the brink of suicide. Somehow, she managed to survive for the sake of her children. On the day my stepfather put his hands on me, my mother snapped. She used a neighbor's cell phone to call the authorities. We were asked to give witness statements. I was nervous, but my mother's courage filled me. I put my fears aside and told them everything. This was my first strike against hate, but it wouldn't be my last. We came to America. Here, life was both better and worse. I could go to school, but experienced bullying because of my ethnicity. People called me a terrorist. I couldn't respond because I wasn't fluent in English. Sometimes they would even make bombing jokes. At other times, they'd mock my dark hair and skin. None of this fazed me much. After all, I had faced so much worse. I knew what it was like being a woman from a different country. I knew what it was like to be treated as a second-class citizen. I had been through enough to be grateful for the new avenues open to me. As time went on, I grew more comfortable speaking English. On the day I was able to speak up for another immigrant in my school, I knew I was an American woman, a woman of conviction who would stand up for others, a woman who would go to college, a woman who would study medicine to help other women in situations as my mother had faced. We all owe our lives to our mothers. In my case, this is a double debt. My mother risked her life to get me out of Iraq. I owe it to her to help women in seemingly impossible situations. From her, I learned having courage can change your future. From her, I learned how to strike back against hatred. In her name, I will continue to stop hate by making sure women get the help they need in their most extreme circumstances. My plan is to become a trauma nurse, specializing in cases of rape and spousal abuse. It's a hard path for me to choose. I've battled my own darkness for years. I know I'll face triggering events in my future career. I know it's our duty to fight demons for others once we've conquered our own. It's a battle I believe I can win.